So anyways, yeah, that's, we're on number 2 now?
We are on number 2.
Okay.
We still have 1, 2, 3, 4 movies to talk about.
Oh God, we do? Oh yeah.
We sure do. So literally, I know your number 2 and mine are going to be different, and we're probably going to cover 2 right there, and then number 1 is going to be the other 2.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
Number 2 is just Star Wars. Later renamed Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
So let's talk about that.
And this was number 1 for a very, very long time.
Let's talk about that, because that was my number 5.
Oh, right.
It was. That, again, got pushed. Just like starting with Rogue One, everything kind of got pushed down. To the point where I surprised myself, where I basically was asking which one would I watch, if I had to watch one, and then that's how it pushed. It's the best. Like, it started this whole thing. It's incredible. I love it. But I've seen it probably more than any of them. So at this point, it's kind of like...
I have too.
Yeah, and so at this point, I'm kind of like, I get more excited to watch the other ones because I know what happens. Like, it's still fun. It's still amazing. I love seeing it. But I'd say the others have more action.
Did you know your number 5 choice is your shirt?
Yes.
Huh.
There's the crawl on the back.
Really?
Yeah, the entire crawl.
Oh, that's awesome! Go on.
My girlfriend's mother... My girlfriend got this for me.
Cool.
They both got me something Star Wars related. I should have got my Star Wars cup. Oh, well. But, yeah, I think at that point it's just become... I've seen it so much. That's why it fell, is because these other ones are newer. I just haven't seen them as much. Or whereas Empire, I think it just has more action. Because what? You have kind of the beginning. It's a little, action-packed. And then you have really no action and no, like, on the edge of your seat action until the Death Star. And then there's a big pause in that. And then there's the trench run. So it's really, that's it.
Yeah.
So I think...
You should watch how Star Wars was saved in the edit.
I think I have.
Okay, well, that's homework for you guys.
Yeah, but no, I think it just, for me, it just dropped because of, I think some of the ones are more fun to watch. I still love it. Like, A New Hope is,
Right.
Yeah,
Star Wars is Star Wars. Star Wars is Star Wars. Okay. So oddly enough, I said there's not much to say on this one, and yet this has my longest bullets. Okay, there's not much to say on this one.
What?
But it's a fun movie, and it stands completely on its own.
Yes, that's what I said
You could
earlier.
watch this movie and then say, bam, I've seen Star Wars, and then just never think about Star Wars again. You shouldn't, but you can.
Yeah, you have the awards ceremony.
That's true, yeah.
So, you're done.
Yeah.
It ends.
And, if you want to believe that Vader was killed when he was sent off, spinning,
or he's just
which is a cool trick.
Or he's really lonely.
Vader?
This is my fridge.
I'm a pilot,
Oh. I'm a person, and my name is Anakin.
So yeah, it's also really simple and can be enjoyed by anyone, except my mom, who somehow thinks it's too complicated.
What?
Yeah, this movie was literally crafted from start to finish with a formula of the most basic storytelling method in history, compiled from Joseph Campbell's hero's journey.
Yes.
It was designed to be simple as hell, but because they're not all human, I guess she thinks that's complicated. A little racist there, Mom.
Chewbacca
Just a little bit.
Han Solo wasn't going to be human at all.
I know.
That was Chewbacca, but...
Well, not,
You remember when I lost that satellite contest to that kid?
Get over it. You lost it to a 9-year-old. He needed that.
No, he didn't.
He needed that.
I was about to watch Force Awakens. I needed it.
Whoa. I still have more to say. That is very good. Okay,
Thank you!
Fine, you want a poster?
I do.
Okay, I'll get you a poster.
Thanks.
So I don't understand how it confuses her, but I have grown to accept that I just have a mother that doesn't love Star Wars. But that's okay, because lucky for me, I have 2 mothers.
Yeah.
I have a spare.
Does Dawn?
Sounds terrible. My other mom does, and she loves Star Wars.
Good.
She was the one that got me, introduced to Star Wars.
I don't know how I got introduced. It wasn't my mom and it wasn't my dad. I don't know how I got introduced. I think one of my friends once brought over the old gold VHS
Those are my first ones, too.
Like, I have no idea.
I was scared of Star Wars for a while because I didn't like Obi-Wan dying. It scared the hell out of me.
I do remember my friend had an X-Wing with Luke Skywalker, and he was introducing me to it. And he's like, this guy's name is Skywalker, which means he could walk on the sky. I'm like, cool. We didn't know.
I hope the camera got your face on that one because it was fantastic. So yeah, I guess now we reveal our number one.
No, we don't.
Oh,
because I have to reveal my number 2.
Oh, okay. What's your number 2?
Do you know? Can you do the math and see what I haven't mentioned yet? Can you get?
Oh my god. Okay,
Can you guess what my number 2 is?
Oh my god.
You know what I haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
What's my number 2?
Your number 2 is Phantom Menace.
My number 2 is Phantom Menace. And
yeah, you're gonna get a lot of weird comments.
That's for me. This is personally
This is personal.
I think Phantom Menace, and fight me on this, I don't care, has the best soundtrack.
I don't think anyone's gonna fight you on that.
It's so good. And it's just, to me, it's nostalgia. I have fun watching that. Every time it starts up when we do the marathons, I giggle and I smile and I love it and I understand. And my friend knows. You may cut this. I don't care. My friend is friends with Anakin.
Yeah.
With Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd.
So maybe we can, hey Jake, maybe we can do something. I don't know. I'll talk to him.
He's a pilot, you know.
He is a pilot,
Just one day he's gonna get away from this place. If you haven't looked up Darth Vader with little Anakin's voice.
Oh my god! It's so... I'm gonna watch that after we do this.
It's an incredible video.
And Oral Knots.
Yes. He didn't make that one, though.
No, I know.
Yeah, but it led us to Oral Knots.
It did.
We should rank our Oral Knots.
All of them. They just all go.
Yeah, true. Okay, before...
But I just... It's love for me. It's the one thing that I hate that Phantom Menace did was I wish... they did not in the preview in the the trailer reveal Darth Maul's double lightsaber, because imagine because he fights with it. He fights Qui-Gon earlier with just one side,
right?
And you're like, oh, it's just a long handle. Weird. Imagine if you hadn't seen it in the trailer and just the.
I've seen Reddit comments that did say that. They're like, well, Darth Maul's lightsaber looks really stupid because they avoided the. They didn't know about the double bladed, and then. He went all double-bladed. Holy shit!
They should have waited. I understand it's cool and trailers need to draw you in. Oh, I wish they didn't do that.
I avoided this movie for a long time because Darth Maul looked scary. And
do you remember the trailer? No. You don't remember the trailer? Oh, when they released that, the bandwidth, like people trying to download it on AOL. I saw it. I went to FAO Schwartz.
That's amazing.
I went to FAO Schwartz. And I sat in that store. They had it on loop, and I was just for hours. I wasn't even buying any toys. I was just watching the trailer. Oh my god. Oh god. That's why it's all. I love Phantom Menace.
So Darth Maul was scary.
It brought back Star Wars.
And I was worried that he would kill Obi-Wan too. Remember how I told you it freaked me out when Obi-Wan died? For a while, that was my thing. Like, I would ask, does Obi-Wan die in this movie, too? Like, he was Kenny from South Park.
You should just have him die every trilogy. You killed Obi-Wan!
You bastard!
Oh my god.
You nerf herder!
Oh my god, you killed Obi.
I'm gonna make sure that we're still recording.
Okay.
And then, we'll reveal our number 1.
Okay. I can't believe your number 1 is... I
can't believe your number 1 is this.
I got rid of this immediately, and I had to wait.
But I gotta say, it's very interesting. Both of our favorites come from the sequels.
I know.
And here's the other thing.
It's weird. I'm just making sure we've gotten rid of everything, but yeah, we have.
And my number 1...
Because we're talking about yours first, because I hate it so much.
I guess so. My number 1 favorite Star Wars movie, and it was number 3 for a while, then it bumped down to number 2, and then
up
to
number 2.
Last month it finally made its way to number 1. My favorite Star Wars movie of all time is Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Why?
I just think it's I I really felt like the whole saga felt connected after this one.
Really?
It did. It acknowledged the prequels, it acknowledged the original trilogy, and the previous sequel film. Look, Force Awakens did so much to, like, say, we're not the prequels. Hey, I'm talking. I got the floor right now. Force Awakens did so much to say, we're not the prequels. Don't worry, we got your back. This one actually, like, when Luke is talking about at the height of the power, the Jedi allowed Darth Sidious to take over them.
Luke
I'm like,
talking about,
I loved that because that felt like Rian Johnson. He respected all Star Wars, which I know you're gonna have some things to say about that. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yes, I think that I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, mainly from you because you're right here. Even with all the internet backlash, I'm gonna get a lot of hate, mostly from you. I truly believe that Rian Johnson understands Star Wars characters like nobody else. I do. I really, really do. I think that Luke Skywalker finally realizing that the Jedi were actually these flawed people and talking about their failures was incredible. The theme of the movie is not let the past die. The theme of the movie is failure. And there's just so many beautiful cinematographic shots, so many parallels going on. It's just, God, I love that movie so much. If you haven't seen The Director and the Jedi, that is a beautiful documentary and really not only capitalizes on how difficult it is to make a Star Wars film, but how difficult it is to make a movie. Rian Johnson is actually one of my heroes. I love everything that he does. I really enjoyed Brick. I loved Looper. I love the Brothers Bloom. I love Ozymandias. I love Fly. I love Knives Out was my top movie of 2019. And I love The Last Jedi. I love it. So, fine. Go ahead. Say whatever you want about The Last Jedi. We're gonna be here for another hour.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Fine.
Okay, I can't do this anymore. You just don't.
I get it. It acknowledges the prequel. Here's the problem with that. There was literally only one movie before it that could have.
You liked Phantom Menace.
But I'm just saying, so that I kind of throw your argument out there.
That's the lowest I'll go.
Fine, because it literally is like, okay, yeah, it acknowledges the prequel, but you only had one opportunity other than that to which to do it. So congratulations on being second, I guess. But whatever. For me,
I do want to say one more thing.
Okay.
That may add to your thing.
Okay.
A lot of people, like a lot of the problems that did come from The Last Jedi, what some consider to be problems, he was written into a corner by The Force Awakens.
No, I will admit, the way as a whole, the sequels were written horribly. Because at least the original trilogy, you had one man. Yes, different directors, but you had one man story. Same with the prequels. And you had an ending because of A New Hope. Here, it was just a tug of war of JJ and JJ's not clean in this. I'm mad at him too. JJ, I know. Yeah. All right, come on, bring it. Let's go.
Oh boy.
But anyway, it was just, I'm going to do this. And Ryan's like, no, we need to do this. And JJ's like, no, we need to do that. And it was just, you guys needed to just work together, right? We want to start here. We want to end here. How do we get there?
They should have given the whole trilogy to Rian Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
There, I said it.
Fine. I will even give you that, as long as it meant just having a consistent friggin' story. Mm-hmm. So that part I'm not even mad specifically at Ryan. They just needed to. They needed to make a movie broken into 3 parts, not 3 movies.
I can do that.
It was just it's
one movie broken into 3 parts. That's a good way of saying it.
It is the least. It doesn't work together. It's I can't think of the word.
Coherent?
Yes, it's the least coherent of the trilogies because of that. Because it was no longer one man's thing, but they also didn't.
I'll give you that
do it
too.
Together. And so, but on top of that, like, I don't care that Luke learned a friggin' lesson about the Jedi, but it's just I understand. I get people going, well, people change over 30 years. Are you the same 30 years from now? No.
I still thought that it was.
But
I still thought it was close to Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi.
Some of the ones I don't.
Look, Return of the Jedi, Luke, he was almost about to kill Vader. He hesitated. He immediately stopped.
Right, so why did he do it again?
Because that's just who he is.
But at this point,
there will always be darkness inside of Luke.
But like someone points out, he almost killed the most dangerous man in the entire universe and stopped. So suddenly a young boy is now like, I get it, he saw the future, whatever.
But once again, he stopped.
Right.
But only this time, it was too late.
He just didn't learn anything. But
That's
also,
not the case.
You threw me off because now I'm thinking about that scene. That's not where I was going. With Luke, it's like, for me, okay, personal. I grew up with, it hurts. I grew up with the EU. So I saw Luke marry Mara Jade and start a new Jedi and learn from that.
The EU itself was never even canon, right?
I don't care.
It wasn't, though. George Lucas hated the EU.
I know. But they were just all there, all these stories. I read the X-Wing books, I read everything, and all this stuff, and to see this, and, Jace and Jaina and Anakin, and then Ben, and then everyone there, and then Chewie gets killed by a moon, Han Solo, they never die. And don't get me started on the fact that, oh my god, hey, those two lovebirds, let's see what they're up to. Oh, they're divorced and everything gone wrong? Oh, great.
Makes sense to me. They were a terrible couple, in my opinion.
But still, I know it makes sense, but there's something with movies, it's escapism, and I don't need to see always gritty realism on the three
I don't agree, but I can respect that.
People I love. And then, not always, I mean, yes, do I want gritty realism? But some things like Star Wars, I want to, I want hope. I want a new hope. I don't want, You got
that with Force Awakens, though.
Yay, I'm so glad.
Okay, before you get too far...
Okay, because I'm not done.
Oh, I know you're not done. Don't worry. You're the reason that this video is probably going to be a trilogy of its own.
Sorry. At least it'll be cohesive.
Okay. Nice.
Thanks.
Actually, that's not a dig on The Last Jedi. Whatever. Anyways, the thing about the EU... I did not grow up with the EU.
Yeah.
When Disney decided that the EU wasn't canon, even though, again, it never was canon, Disney was just the first one to publicly announce that it wasn't canon, I was happy about that because Force Awakens was when I started to get really, really into Star Wars. That's when I started watching...
that's why this is going to be different.
That's when I watched Clone Wars, and I became a dedicated Star Wars fan. I didn't have to catch up with a bunch of EU. I came in right at the right time. I was able to watch the EU expand by myself this time.
Okay, that brings something else up.
I didn't have to catch up. It was just, I don't know. It meant a lot that I could have my own EU.
Okay. The thing with that,
I'm not saying it right. I know I'm rambling, but I hope that people understand what I'm saying.
The thing for me with that is the problem. One of the best parts about the EU, you didn't have to. You totally didn't have to catch up. I feel like with a lot of the sequels, oh my god, you literally have to read the book, and if you didn't,
I feel like it's more with your number one.
It is, but it's also the whole thing. I understand that. Now, I'll explain my number one. But, which again, you guys should know by now, because it hasn't been mentioned.
I'm disappointed if you don't know his number one.
One of my biggest flaws with this as a whole, and with this as a movie. The flaw for The Last Jedi as a Star Wars movie and a movie as a whole, I think its biggest flaw, I cannot take the bad guys who we are supposed to fear as audience members seriously. They tried to Marvel themselves, which Marvel does a good job at.
I'd say they only did it with Hux.
But right off the bat, he is a high up leader with the First Order. So if you do it with one of the highest members of the First Order, then what the hell? Literally, if I go to your mom's work and I just in front of all her workers, just make fun of her, put her down, drop her on the floor, drag her around, throw her around.
Well, don't do that to my mother.
But I'm saying, and then she just can't stand up for herself. Do you think her workers are going to take her seriously?
Well, she'd kick your ass. Just saying.
Whatever. But I'm saying my point is, no. Literally, you don't belittle your manager in front of their employees, because then they're not going to take them seriously. So all those people who watch Hux just get embarrassed. It's not... They don't take them seriously. Now, I'm not going to take them seriously because I almost said the Rebels. The Resistance don't take him seriously. So why the hell should I, as a viewer, take your bad guy seriously? I don't. You made it a joke. And I don't fear. That's my biggest flaw, is you have taken the one thing that you're supposed to have with movies like this, is you're supposed to, feel for you're supposed to be in the shoes of the good guys, be like, oh my god. I don't. I'm just oh, cool, he's a big-ass joke. All right.
Okay. I mean, really did a good job with Kylo Ren, though. really humanized Ben.
I think, sure, towards the end, but I think, and this wasn't The Last Jedi, but just like his temper tantrums, I get it, but
I didn't think he had that many temper tantrums in Last Jedi.
That's how I said, and just in general.
Okay.
The calm, cool collectiveness of like Vader and Moff Tarkin is what made them scary, whereas the freaking outedness of Force Awakens Ren is you're like, okay, I'm not taking you all that seriously. Like, I think it just they undermine their villains, and I had a hard time like just that joke right out the bat, the phone call, and the way Snoke just belittled Hux in front of his entire crew. I was like, I don't fear the First Order, like whatever.
Okay.
And so I was out of it. Your first few minutes of the movie brought me out of it, Ryan. And I just don't. I think it's. I've watched that movie twice. Once when it was in theaters, and once again for the marathon. Mm-hmm. And I literally for the marathon, I'm like, I'm gonna give it a shot again. And I hated it more. I
love it more every time I see it.
I didn't like it. I think.
Can I at least, maybe you'll agree with me on this?
Okay.
Star Wars has never been known for good acting. But I think that it is
it's not even the acting.
I think it is the best acting of the entire saga. I think the best performances ever given are in this movie.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Because whatever you say about his screenplay, the direction of the film he went in, Rian Johnson is an incredible director. He knows how to work with actors. He's so good at getting them to give all that they've got. Again, your problem, I think, is with the screenplay. The director aspect of him, though, I don't know, it's unparalleled.
I'd have to watch again. And then also for me, when you have an entire section of the movie that can be cut out and doesn't change anything.
Also, I'd like to point this out. George Lucas did not like Force Awakens. He said that The Last Jedi was beautiful. The Last Jedi is actually closer to Lucas's original vision for Episode 7.
Okay, I still would like to see it from him.
I think you would have seen a worse version of The Last Jedi.
Maybe the story is not what I have a problem with. I think a lot of the stuff is cringy. I think undermining your villains was bad. I think the forced jokes, no pun intended, are...
But the pun was there.
They needed to be
few and
far between.
Again, and
Star Wars has humor.
I don't think that the humor is as bad as everyone says.
It was too much. I think it was too much. I think when you play things for laughs, okay, now I have remembered because I pushed it down, but I forgot another main thing I didn't like about this is anytime there was some sort of serious moment, it was immediately played for laughs. Like with Rey, she's becoming like trying to get wield her lightsaber, and oh my god, she's getting members of that rock, and she's like really learning, and it's like, oh my god, she's actually learning how to use it, and she slices through it. It's like, oh, she doesn't know how to control it. Cut to it falling down, smashing their cart, and it's like, or even the Luke lightsaber. I get it. You wanted him. Sorry, that's my fridge. Give it a second.
God, that fridge sucks.
I know.
Dude, is it okay?
It's probably dying.
It's gone on for longer than a second.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it... There we go.
Thank you, fridge.
Okay. So, with Luke, I get it. You wanted him to reject the Jedi and the lightsaber. The way he throws it was absolutely played for humor. And that's the bothered me. She sits there, she hands him the lightsaber, he grabs it. If you wanted him to be annoyed, just have him go... throw it some other way. But the fact that he just went... Everyone bust out laughing in the theater. That's not where you want your jokes. Everything was played for a joke. Again, the phone call, the lightsaber, the other lightsaber with the rocks, the whole freaking Canto bite. Everything was just Ryan, not everything has to be a joke. I like jokes. Star Wars has funny moments. It is. C-3PO is a comedic relief throughout the entire thing.
Terrible comedic relief.
But... he never takes away from the serious moments, really.
I think this is one that we're just going to have to agree to disagree on.
We absolutely are.
Let's move on to your number one.
So, and last but not least, because it's my number one.
Yep.
I'm going to absolutely admit this. But this fell into, it got pushed up. I put it low, and it kept pushing it up.
It's an underdog story.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker, which is, wow. Number 8 for me.
Hey, your 1 was my 11, so...
That's true. Okay. Should I start?
Really?
Why? I have less to say.
I'm just saying, are we doing this again?
Why?
Who talks first?
I actually wasn't doing that.
I know. Go ahead.
So don't get me wrong.
I have you completely wrong.
Okay.
You've told me to, and I'm going to do it just to spite you, because you told me.
I gotta shave this. I hate this facial hair. I've decided. I hate it. I was trying to think. Guys, I'm so sorry.
No, do here. Shave here, leave this and this.
Maybe.
No, because it's this that's barely growing that you should
Yeah,
just
I know. I thought it would. I didn't know we'd be doing this film today, except I did. I don't know. Whatever. Not important. Okay, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Which, by the way, quickly going back, Phantom Menace, I think, has all the problems with Attack of the Clones, but at least it has Duel of the Fates. I didn't get to say that earlier.
That's fine.
I just realized I never talked about how I felt about Phantom Menace. Anyways, Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace are the only Star Wars movies that I wouldn't rush off to watch, but I still watch those too. Star Wars is Star Wars.
Yes.
In fact, I do like Rise of Skywalker every time I rewatch it or every time I think about it. But I think it is probably the biggest hit or miss in the entire saga. Half the movie is questionable and feels off, which is partially due to Carrie Fisher's untimely death. Mm-hmm. They wrote around that. It's awkward, but I'm also glad that they did. I'm glad that they did that. I can look past that. The other half just soothes my Star Wars heart. There's a lot of fan service in this one. And I don't care that it's fan service. I'm okay with a lot of the fan service. But, yeah, it's not my favorite. Also following, in a lot of ways, it was the anti-Last Jedi. And I love The Last Jedi.
That's every time, because I saw it first, because I watched it with the marathon.
Right.
So anytime someone asked me about it, I'm like, how did you like The Last Jedi? And if they said no, I'd be like, you'll like this one. And if they said yes, I'm like, you're not going to like this one.
Yeah, I don't think it betrayed The Last Jedi as much as a lot of people say it did. But at the same time, I guess I wanted more of a sequel to The Last Jedi than this one was. I don't know. I'm not going to do a good job of explaining this. But overall, I completely lost my train of thought. I apologize. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it fine. The highs were really high. Yep. The lows were really low.
What were your lows?
A lot of the time it just felt a little rushed to me.
It was very fast. I've heard that a lot, that you're never really given time to breathe and take things in.
I think Rian Johnson's a much better director. I think that the performances weren't as good in this one as they were in The Last Jedi. Oh. Again, that'll be an agree to disagree thing. I don't like that Rey was connected to anyone. I liked her more as a nobody. I wish that if they did go that route, they would have done two things. Either, I wish that Rey had just said, when they said Rey who, I wish that she either just said,
Spoilers.
just Rey.
Sure.
Or, I wish that she proudly said, Rey Palpatine.
And changed the name.
Exactly. You want to defeat Palpatine, really stick it to him.
Yeah.
And, change the legacy of Palpatine with the Jedi now instead.
Yeah.
That's fine, though. I cried when I saw Luke and Leia together as Force Ghosts. I cried when Leia passed away. I cried when Han Solo came back.
When Leia passed away, what about when Chewie dropped to his knees at the news?
That did suck, too.
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm talking about everything involved in that scene.
I'm saying that was gut-wrenching.
It was, because you just know, oh, my God, they're not just there for Leia, they're there for Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. Well, in lore-wise, Chewie has just lost Han, Luke, and now Leia. They're all gone.
I know, and here's the thing I'll say on that, because I know you have a problem with this, that they're all just gone.
I'm just mad we didn't get them all together.
But at the same time, I gotta say, I'm glad we got a chance to have them at all.
No,
I think Carrie Fisher, like, her untimely death proves that at least we got to see the characters killed off on screen instead of just, like, it happening willy-nilly.
Yes.
Chewie, on the other hand, can live forever because, you know, he doesn't have an actor.
No. Well,
you know what I mean.
Face actor.
You know what I mean. And no disrespect to Peter Mayhew at all. Like, Peter Mayhew is Chewbacca. He will always be Chewbacca. But you get what I'm saying. I wish that we had a little bit more Ben Solo. Adam Driver is one of those actors that is not conventionally handsome, but you know, you put him as Ben Solo, and I'm just thinking, wow, I'm not gay, but...
If I remember correctly, the last thing he says is as Kylo. When he's Ben, he has zero dialogue.
He does.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'll say that I loved...
he has one line.
Ow.
Yeah, ow.
I will say... At the beginning of the trilogy, he says, I will finish what you started. At the end of the trilogy, he finishes what Vader started, trying to protect those he loves from dying. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I guess just, there's a lot of pros to Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker, there's nothing huge against it. But, yeah, I've talked for a long time. Tell me why Rise of Skywalker is... your favorite.
I'll admit right now, it's recency bias. It's the latest one I've seen.
Okay.
And I just, again, I said this before with many of them, I had fun. Seeing that, God, it makes me, I wish we had more of the hyperspace jumping that the Falcon did. Oh my God, that was such a cool scene.
That was a lot of fun.
The one thing I am confused, I didn't even know. I didn't know that was Mustafar at the very beginning.
Right.
I didn't know.
Because they didn't do... That's one of the rush things they did.
It's one of the rush things, and also the thing that they didn't say it or anything like that, but also I think you have to look at... That's one of the one you have to look at the book, too. And which is, again, why I didn't like, the sequels as much as a whole. There were things you guys missed, and like you said...
John Williams got his well-deserved cameo.
Yes. But it was fun. I think this is Rey's best movie, character progression-wise. Because in the
completely disagree, but that's fine.
In the first two, she can do no wrong, and I hate that because I don't connect with this character.
I disagree there.
Where does she do wrong? Where did she ever mess up?
The Last Jedi was a huge character journey for Rey.
Where did she mess up? Where did she ever have character flaw? She's always perfect.
She's not perfect.
Where did she mess up?
She's such a broken character. She is.
So here's the thing. I like Marvel. Because
I forgive you.
People like Spider-Man and I'm saying characters like Spider-Man.
Right.
They're broken. They have things you can connect with them as human beings. DC, on the other hand, I can't really personally relate with gods.
Even though every time I say "Oh my God," you say yes.
Yeah, that's a joke though. But I can't relate. Like I can't be like, yeah, Superman. I have so much in common. And so that's the thing, when Rey can do no wrong and anything like that, I can't connect to her. So finally, she has flaws and stuff in Rise of Skywalker, and I finally really liked her character. And even Poe, everyone felt like they had character. You learn more about them. You learn Poe was also a smuggler or a runner, and Finn, you learn more about him. And man, talk about wasted though. Finn could have been so much more in this whole sequel trilogy. But, I'll admit, there are some, obviously flaws it has. It doesn't slow down. Again, I said I like the EU, so the fact that Palpatine clones, I liked it.
Oh, this is what happened. Rise of Skywalker is what happens when Star Wars fans finally get their EU.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I liked it.
It's a cluster.
And I giggled when they just gave a huge middle finger to The Last Jedi. I did, because I don't like it. I liked it so...
I don't even think it's a huge middle finger to The Last Jedi, but I think it has some disrespectful moments.
You don't think Luke's lightsaber moment is disrespectful to The Last Jedi? You don't think it's a huge middle finger?
No,
It's literally the exact scene, and he just recalls it. Okay. The Jedi just doesn't throw away his... That was absolutely
That's character development as far as I'm concerned. Or
behind the
progression.
scenes, I'm saying that was absolutely. That's got to be on his mind.
Okay.
But right now, it's the one I had the most fun with, and coolest lightsaber in the entire series.
Leia's.
No. Rey's.
Oh.
That ignition switch. I want them to sell that. First of all, it brings yellow into canon, finally, like movie canon. Mm-hmm. And then also, because it was in, it's in the shows, but it brings it to the screen. That ignition switch is so cool.
It is pretty
cool. And I was worried because Galaxy's Edge takes place between...
6 and...
no, Galaxy's Edge takes place between 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
So I was worried we never see that because it always takes place. Because hence why Kylo's still there and not Ben or, alive. And, it can never grow. It can never change. And I was worried, that means we'll never see Rey's lightsaber for sale at Doc Ondar's. Except for the fact that Doc Ondar's has Kylo Ren's and Ben Solo's. So that makes zero sense because Ben Solo's was eventually turned into Kylo Ren's lightsaber. He repurposed it. So those shouldn't exist at the same time. So maybe we have hope. Maybe we'll get one that in case you don't know, most of them, there's like a switch or a button. Hers, it twists. It's like a rotating ring. Oh, it's so cool. And I'm a sucker for leather wrappings on lightsabers. Mm-hmm. That's the one Robin designed.
Not this one.
That's the one Robin designed.
I know.
And so to see finally one with like leather on the... Oh, man. Oh, my favorite lightsaber of the entire series.
All right. Well, so...
I know you'll disagree. Probably with both of us.
Yeah. We do not have, your stereotypical popular Star Wars.
No. But once again, Star Wars is Star Wars. I love them all. Mm-hmm. And then there's The Last Jedi.
Okay. So, just to make this simple... 11 for me.
All right.
11.
We'll do a countdown.
Attack of the Clones. 10. Phantom Menace. 9. Force Awakens. 8. Rise of Skywalker. 7. Solo, a Star Wars story. 6. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. 5. Return of the Jedi. 4. Empire Strikes Back. 3. Revenge of the Sith. 2. Star Wars, A New Hope. And 1. The Last Jedi. And I just realized something interesting. On my top 3, I have the...
One from each?
What?
One from each?
Not only that, I have the first one from the original trilogy, second one from the sequel trilogy, and the third one from the prequel. So I have one from each, and they're all in their...
I have 313.
Yeah, you do.
So for me, he read all the titles perfectly, so I'm just going to do the quick versions. 11, Last Jedi. 10, Force Awakens. 9, Attack of the Clones. 8, Rogue One. 7, Solo. 6, Return of the Jedi. 5, A New Hope. 4, Empire. 3, Revenge of the Sith. 2, Phantom Menace. And 1, Rise of Skywalker.
And that's that, guys.
So thank you for joining us for this 1, possibly 3, hell, possibly 20-part series. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm not releasing this all as one thing.
Boo! Sorry, I kicked the microphone.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, be sure to follow us on social media. It's anywhere you go. We have Twitch, we have Twitter, and we have Instagram. I'm working on Facebook right now, but it's OkayThankYou YT for YouTube. OkayThankYou.
And I'll put this down below.
All of that will be in the description below, along with our personal social medias. So feel free to follow us on those too. Let us know your order in the comments below. And if you feel like explaining your favorite and least favorite, because I feel like those will be most interesting than explaining all your middle ones.
It's true.
But yeah, let us know. We want to...
Also, be respectful.
Please.
Star Wars can get messy.
It's okay when someone's very wrong and likes Last Jedi, but you gotta treat them with respect. It's fine.
It's okay that some people don't really see the value and artisticness of The Last Jedi. Anyways...
Like Ryan Johnson.
Wow. I completely disagree, but that was very well timed and placed. Well placed jab, Mike. Very good. I have 3 things that I don't talk about. Religion, politics, and Star Wars, which oddly enough is a combination of religion and politics.
The third one is the first 2.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because Star Wars fans are crazy. They're insane.
No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
That is true.
So just everyone Star Wars is Star Wars. It's amazing.
It's
great.
very large. There's something for everyone to enjoy.
There's 11 films. There's going to be one at the bottom and one at the top. That's how it is.
And there's a lot of great TV shows. And
Sorry.
comics.
Yeah.
And video games. And now it's all canon.
So here's to the future of Star Wars.
Cheers.
I don't have the blades. Sorry, buddy.
It's fine.
Also, the batteries aren't in there
Cool.
because it drains them. But
Cool. Alright, this isn't even mine. Okay. Bye, guys.
bye. Oh, yeah, no, bye. I already asked them to name all these if they can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.